Influence of spiritual teachings. The power of the Word of God. Revealed from Jesus Christ. Thus saith the Lord. My doctrine develops man in all his aspects. It sensitizes and ennobles his heart, awakens and deepens his mind, and perfects and elevates his spirit. Make a profound study of my doctrine to permit you to understand the right way to practice my teachings, so that your development will be harmonious, so that you do not develop your mind alone without concern for the ideals of the Spirit, which you should encourage. All the potentials of your being can find in my word the luminous road on which they can grow and perfect themselves infinitely. My doctrine is essentially spiritual. It is light and strength that descends and penetrates your spirit to make it victorious in its combat against evil. My word is not merely for the amusement of the ear, it is the light of the spirit. Do you wish to hear me with the Spirit, so that it is the Spirit who is sustained and takes advantage of the essence of this teaching? Clean your heart, clear your mind, and let your conscience be your guide. You will see then how, in your being, there will begin to be a transformation, not only spiritual, but also moral and of the body. That elevation that the Spirit gains with knowledge, that cleanliness that it reaches, is reflected in the sentiments of the heart and the health of the body. Passions will become weaker, vices will begin to disappear, and fanaticism and ignorance will give way to true faith and profound knowledge of my law. This doctrine, known by a few and unknown by humanity in general, will soon come as a balm over all who suffer, to offer comfort, kindle faith, disperse the darkness, and inculcate hope. It shall raise you above sin, misery, pain, and death. It can be no other way, for it is I, the divine doctor, the promised comforter, who has come to reveal it to you. When you have been spiritualized and you find yourself with men who suffer and are desperate because they cannot have that which they desire in the world, you will see how their materialism contrasts with the elevation of my disciples, whose conformity shall be great, because their ambitions and yearnings shall be noble, based in the firm conviction that in this life all is transitory. My disciples will speak to the world with examples of spirituality, through a life that struggles to bring the spirit closer to the divinity, instead of being chained to the false riches of the world. I know that the materialists of future times will be scandalized upon hearing this doctrine, but their conscience will tell them that my word speaks only truth. On the great journey that awaits you, I shall be your Cyrene. Simon of Cyrene helped Jesus carry the cross to Calvary. My doctrine will cause great revolutions in the world. There will be great transformations in customs and ideas, and even in nature there will be changes. All of this shall signal the beginning of a new era for humanity, and the spirits who in a short time I send to earth will speak of these prophecies to help with the restoration and elevation of this world, explain my word, and analyze events. This third era is a time of resurrection. The spirits had seemed dead, and the bodies their sepulchres, but the Master has come before them, whose word of life speaks to them, saying, Arise, and rise to the light, to freedom. He who, upon opening his eyes to the truth, knows how to elevate his life, his works, and his feelings in love for his brothers, shall cease to look at this world as a vale of tears and atonement, for he will have begun to feel the joy of the true peace that comes from serenity. That state of elevation in this life shall be a reflection of the perfect peace and light that the Spirit will go to enjoy in the better mansions, where I myself will receive them and award them hospitality worthy of their merits. Reaction of theologians and materialists. Do not be disturbed when they tell you that he who has spoken to you during this period has been the tempter, and that it was foretold that he would also perform miracles, with which he would perturb and confuse the very chosen ones. Truly, I say to you, that many who think in that way about my manifestation will be those who actually are in the service of evil and in darkness, although their lips try to assure that they are always spreading the truth. Do not forget that the tree is known by its fruits, and I say to you, the fruit is this word which has come to vibrate through the faculties of these spokesmen, men and women of simple heart. By the fruits and spiritual progress of those who have tasted it, mankind will recognize that I am the tree. The spiritual, Trinitarian, Marian doctrine will be spread, causing a real alarm among many who, believing they studied and understood the lessons which they had previously received from the Father, have become conceited with the knowledge of their philosophies and their sciences, unaware of the spiritual evolution that mankind has reached. On awakening from their lethargy, they will become aware of the manner in which the spirit of man thinks and feels today. They will hurl anathemas against what they call new ideas, and they will declare that this movement is being provoked by the Antichrist. Then they will go back to the scriptures, to the prophecies, and to my word, which I gave you during the second era, to try to combat my new manifestation, my new lessons, and all that I promised, and which today I am fulfilling. Through the lips of my disciples, and by means of writings, my word will reach even those who admit nothing beyond what is material, or from their knowledge and concepts, which they have already accepted, and they will call me a false god for bringing you this word. But when you hear this, even if your heart feels hurt, your faith will not suffer any discouragement, recalling with emotion that your Master already had announced it to you and strengthened you with his word to resist those tests. On the other hand, I say that even if along your way you find falsity, hypocrisy, superstition, religious fanaticism, and idolatry, do not judge anyone because of his errors. Instruct them with my word, and leave their cause to me. For I am the only one who judges you, and who knows who is the false God, the false Christ, the unrighteous apostle, the hypocritical Pharisee. The war of ideas, creeds, religions, doctrines, philosophies, theories, and sciences shall come, and my name and doctrine shall be in every mouth. My new coming will be argued and judged, and from that shall arise great believers, proclaiming that Christ has been again among men. At those moments, from the infinite, I shall encourage those hearts, and perform prodigies where they pass to strengthen their faith.